This is the gear from Steve's floating dive shop that he's looking to offload.
Janet said, "Blimey, that looks like a man I used to know." Bum bum bum.
I cost thousands of dollars. I cost thousands.
This is Joel. Together with Tony and Jared, he gave up everything to buy a boat and go on the adventure of a lifetime. But after a death-defying sail to Cuba, he returned to Key West and found himself alone.
Wish me luck on this adventure. When Michael finished school, I asked her to sail with me to the Bahamas. She agreed, but joined strictly as crew. 4 months later, we made it to the Dominican Republic. Broke and in love.
Bums on a Boat is a true story about facing fear, finding adventure, and falling in love. Each tale is brought to you by our patrons and viewers. Subscribe and click the bell to get notified about weekly premieres, and visit our website to learn more. Thank you for watching.
We're walking away with a little girl.
These are the tales of BOAB.
Hello, everybody. We have a super exciting day planned. We just met another dog named Tyla. She's 2 years old. She's from the Dominican Republic. She's almost identical to Lola. She's just black and white. She's a little bit bigger. There she is. Look. Look at Tyla. Look at that. Hi, Tyla. What's going on? What's going on? They're gonna go crazy.
What was Chris?
Martina,
Hi.
hello, from Germany. Martina is the proud owner of Tyla.
Right.
And we just met her yesterday.
Right.
Well, 2 days ago, but Tyla and Lola met yesterday, right?
Right, and Michael.
And Michael, yes. And Robin, and they're from Germany. They live in Cabarete. We cannot wait to visit Cabarete. We still have not. It's like the windsurfing capital of the world, maybe?
Yes.
It's pretty epic.
One of the top 20 spots in the world.
Awesome.
Cabarete.
This is a
We'll
beautiful
see you
day.
there.
Wow, look at this beach.
Wow.
Come on.
Drop. Drop.
Wow.
Tyla's observing a game of fetch.
Stay. Stay.
Wow.
Tyler's not sure about this game. I don't think so.
Good girl, Lola.
Are you guys digging holes? What's going on here? You eating sand too, Lola? Is that sand pretty good or what? Tyla might be she is the first dog we've seen that can keep up with Lola or even outrun her. Look at that. Can't get it, can't get it. Yesterday we went over to our neighbor's boat right behind us, a catamaran named Little Sister, Steve and Janet. They are in their 70s, cruising couple, one of the older ones that we know. They had a rough trip getting in here. He is a patty daddy. I think there's 5 in the world. So he's set up 28 different countries, dive instructors. So scuba diving has been his life, traveling the world, and Janet with him. So we went over yesterday and he went to pull out his equipment. He had this master plan to gift us some diving stuff. We had no idea, just thought he was gonna cover the basics of diving. And during the storm on their way here, I guess they had engine problems, it overheated, oil squirted, diesel, but the gear was just covered in diesel and oil. So we basically spent yesterday cleaning up the materials. You know, he was working on the boat. So we're about to head back over. We're gonna go over the equipment, the gear. He's gonna teach us about free diving, what you need, techniques. It's gonna be great to meet this couple. I think you're really gonna enjoy this couple. That's all the gear that we cleaned. Are you excited?
I'm excited. Are you excited?
Are you talking to the viewers or me?
I'm talking to the viewers.
That's what I thought. Can't tell, you're wearing your... What happened to your glasses?
Oh,
You got one.
we got one-eared glasses.
What happened?
Joel knocked him into the water and the arm fell off, but I salvaged him and maybe we can wire him back together, but for now I'm just a little lopsided.
Lola, how do you do?
What I've got, you couldn't put a price on that, 'cause I got something real. I got something real. 'Cause I got love. I got love.
Little sister London. Hello, Janet.
Hello.
Are we rolling?
Yeah, I would. You want to film what we're doing now? Or?
Well, I'm just, yeah,
Okay,
you know.
You can film anything you want.
I take them with us everywhere we go.
Okay.
But right now we're laying out our gear, and we've been talking about weight belts and weights.
So let's start you with these.
Okay.
And when you put them on, you want them equally distributed on both sides. Makes sense, so you know. And you want them in front of your hips. Why?
In front of your hips?
Yeah.
The weight, you're
Yeah.
saying?
Because you want to swim on your belly.
Yeah, exactly.
Belly forward,
you
okay.
You can put them on your back if you want, but now your center of gravity is changed and you roll more.
Okay.
If you have them down here, right in here, you're going to be more comfortable in the long run.
So I was hoping maybe to start small, like 3 pounds or so. And Steve said, no, let's go to 6. And I said, why? And he said, because floats.
He's going to put that in there.
Steve's always jabbing me. I'm hoping to catch this dynamic in real life. That's my hope. He's great. He's got a lot of jabs. Yeah.
Well, think about it. Bodies are basically buoyant. Caucasian bodies are anyway. And women are more buoyant than men. Women have a higher percentage of fat to muscle.
Got that
ratio.
childbearing subcutaneous layer.
You got it, you got it. Which is fine, and it's a wonderful thing to have. But you got to compensate for it.
Weight.
There you go.
Weight on. Okay. So I'm gonna try to regurgitate what I think is important here. Steve will clearly correct me if I'm wrong. One thing he said is you want to be able to release the buckle with your dominant hand. So right hand is mine, so I can like that and take it right off. Another thing was, he said the weights, you want them kind of up here on your hips, forward.
Yeah.
Instead
Above
of
your hips.
on your back.
Above
your hips, just above.
If you have a waist.
If you have a waist. Yeah, exactly. Which I do, luckily.
Yep.
And then we got these little, basically weight holders that keep it in place so it doesn't slide around on you.
One of the biggest mistakes people make when they're skin diving, not snorkeling because you don't need it, but when they're skin diving, is they don't wear weights. Hardly anybody wears weights. And you see them constantly thrashing on the surface, trying to get down, bobbing back up, getting breathless because they're using all their energy just trying to stay down. The whole thing can be avoided with what you're doing right now. So it makes huge difference. But most people don't realize that. So.
Yeah, I'm 33 years old. That's always how I've done it. Just kick myself down there. Hang on. Okay, so right when I turned the camera off, you said with golf pros, you have to go a little slower.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Well,
Are golf pros not smart?
Well, golf pros classically are not water oriented, right? Because they got alligators in the ponds, right? So I never seen a golf pro go wading in after a golf ball. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
So because of that, we just naturally assume that you guys are afraid of the water.
He's right. The goal of his is to make sure we can float or stay in the water for 4 and 5 hours. Comfortably, and be comfortable at the end of 5 hours straight in the water, which sounds insane to me.
No, it's not.
And he says, this is my problem. He says, if you get cold, get out of the water. And I literally am always cold. I get cold in like 20 minutes, and I just keep swimming, but I start shivering. My breath's short. Yeah. So that's.
Okay. So let's talk about cold.
Let's talk about cold.
Okay. You're totally immersed in another environment. That environment, as it touches your whole body, is going to start sucking out moisture a little bit, but it's going to suck out your heat also. Like we said the other day, the greatest heat loss you're going to have is respiration. You can't do anything about that free diving. You're going to breathe the warmth out as well as the carbon dioxide and some of the oxygen. So where do you go next? You go any place that the blood is close to the surface. And the closest place with the largest surface area is right up here. It's going to be your head. So if you put something on your head to protect it from that heat loss, it helps tremendously. Then it's going to be your hands and feet. Wear thin neoprene gloves. Wear booties. Now you've got the right type of fins to wear a nice thick bootie, almost like a shoe. So if you do those three, it's going to make a huge difference in how warm you stay. Huge difference in how warm you stay, longer you can be in the water.
So now we're learning that you don't need your eyes to dive underwater. We just heard one of his students was blind. What's his name? They might know. Our viewers are pretty smart.
Jose Feliciano.
Jose
He's a singer
Feliciano.
and guitarist. Yeah.
So he trained him to scuba dive. This is after he was a motorcycle rider. He was jumping horses. Then he learned to dive completely blind, which gave Steve the idea to train all his dive masters
And instructors. To be able to dive without, they wouldn't dive blind with students, but they learned not to have to depend on their eyes. So all of their focus and their eyes were on their students. You should know a student's uncomfortable 2 or 3 signs before they even know they're uncomfortable. One of the things we talked about before is one of the hardest things for students to do if they're on scuba is to clear a mask. And so what you do is you understand that when somebody gets uncomfortable, the first thing they'll do underwater is they'll go vertical. They don't even know they're doing it. They do not know they're doing it. The second thing they'll do is they'll start slowly kicking. It's like shoes get me running. It's a flight reflex. They don't know they're doing it. So my dive masters had better be behind that person and gently bringing them back down before they get to stage 2, which is kicking like this. So you put them on their knees.
Here we got 2 piles. This is our original gear, and this is the gear from Steve's floating dive shop that he's looking to offload. One thing to note is these are more free diving fins, and these are probably more suited to scuba with a different kind of stroke.
No,
No.
those aren't good for scuba.
No,
They're
they're
too
not.
small.
Oh. What are these good for?
Nothing. Or snorkeling.
Snorkeling,
Snorkeling on the
maybe.
surface.
All right. We're good for snorkeling. This is going to make us good for skin diving and hopefully eventually some free diving. So here are some fins with the back strap, which you need the booties for. I think same thing with these ones. Adjustable strap. Got a nice pink bag to put everything in. Beautiful pink suit that used to be Janet's.
Tommy, I don't ever remember wearing that.
Got a bit of wet in here. I thought he was going to grab the pink stuff.
Another fancy suit. You can tell Joel's excited about trying that on. These are both maybe 2 mil. They're
Yeah,
seem
that's
a
a
little
2 mil
thicker.
suit.
Okay. And how about this one? This one might be even a little,
Yeah, that's thicker. That's maybe 3 mil.
just a little thicker. Okay. So blue for Joel. And pink for me. And we got a couple more masks. Pretty pink mask. Hair protector. Got the cool factor mask here with the iridescent kind of mask. Weight belts, which we've just sized and tried on and got these set up. And gosh, I think that's it. Shark fin to strap on for when she's swimming on the surface, huh? Little shark bait. Ooh ha ha.
So Janet is from London,
Yes.
and it's a really amazing love story. It's an adventure, romance. It's crazy. But what's cool is when they met, Steve, they called him Little Jesus. He had really long hair. He never wore shoes.
Now you have the religious community after me.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have a lot of people after you. I mean, I don't know why you committed to doing this video, but he signed off on it, so we're good. But Janet was proper London, totally different, and
Boarding
somehow
school, right?
No, not boarding school,
Oh.
but public girls.
Private school.
The
Private
girls' private school in
Yes.
the middle of London.
Yes.
in the middle of London, what?
Right in City of London School for Girls.
City of London School for Girls.
Yes, Blackfriars.
An unlikely couple, and they've lived an amazing life.
That's true. That's
Little Sister is actually their second boat. Big Sister, sadly, sunk. And it was
In a hurricane.
in a hurricane.
We lived on it for 18 years.
Yeah, so we're just scratching the surface of the stories, but just wanted you guys to know a little bit there.
But did you mention what kind of boat this is?
No, I did not.
Catamaran.
It's a catamaran, but it's a Cadillac. You ever heard of a Cadillac? What, was I right?
Yeah.
A Cadillac.
Hey, you liked it well enough when you got it.
I never knew they made Cadillacs. You guys look them up, Cadillacs. We've got the full tour.
Multi-hulls.
Tom Lack multi-hulls.
Hull.
Hull.
Get it? As a catamaran by Tom Black. Cadillac.
Cadillac. Just a
Yeah.
little big.
A little bit bigger.
Room to grow.
Yeah.
Janet said, "Blimey, that looks like a man I used to know."
I try and get into it, and it just the zipper does not go up.
It's just a little bit big, but I think it's gonna work.
It's gonna be warm for it. Try the other. I think the other one's even smaller
Okay.
or thinner.
Ooh, that's looking pretty good.
Feeling pretty good.
Pretty color too.
Pretty pink.
That's gonna be a good fit on her.
This feels nice.
There you go. Yeah.
It fits.
Yeah, perfect fit actually.
Is it good?
So we just learned Janet was one of the first women divers because they didn't used to make women's gear. It was all black, kind of frumpy.
That's right.
So Janet was the walking billboard. And I think you did pretty well. Now there's a lot of women divers, so
Frankie, yes.
crikey. And pink was her color. Oh, we got another one here.
This one seems a little snug.
Okay.
Bum bum bum.
That one fits you nicely too.
Bum bum bum.
Gosh.
Whoa. Yep.
Good.
Woo, I'm already roasting. This thing's hot. What is this,
Yeah.
a 3 mil?
Yeah.
All right, let's go check out the rest. We got a few more items he wants us to look for. This is the mess that was being sorted through yesterday. The remains. So we still have a little more cleaning to do. We're gonna go through the rest of this. We got a few items we're looking for. Booties, we're looking for those little warm head pieces, the polo helmets, and a couple other items. So we're gonna get to cleaning here.
Woo! My favorite.
We've basically found everything we were looking for.
Headpieces, keep the head warm, hair, mask, protectors, spare straps for the fins, booties, gloves, extras.
Yee! Steve is actually going to take us out for our first official free dive lesson, or it will be skim diving at
Skin
first.
diving first.
Skin diving first. So stay tuned. If you're new, subscribe. And one of our commenters actually reminded us to let you know it's free to subscribe. It's actually absolutely free. So if you didn't know that, subscribe, stay tuned. We're gonna put all this gear to use, and we're gonna face our fears, at least my fear. Getting in the ocean has always been scary for me. And do you have anything to add? No?
I cost thousands of dollars. You may be free, but I cost thousands.
These are the tales of BOAB.
Over here. Over here.
Come on, Willie. Pay attention. Focus.
BOAB.
Lola dipped.
How come you're so quiet?